Students, in last lecture we have studied human male reproductive system. About 2 lectures we have studying all the details related to human male reproductive system. Now in today's lecture we are going to study about human female reproductive system. So as we have studied in male reproductive system, there are 2 parts, male reproductive tract and other is accessory sex glands. Likewise, in female reproductive system also there are 2 different parts. First is the external genitalia and second is the internal genitalia. And as we have studied, the testes are primary sex organs which are present in male body. Likewise, ovaries are the primary sex organs or female gonads which are present in this female body. So here the female reproductive system consists of 2 parts, external genitalia and internal genitalia. Likewise, here the female reproductive system is also consisting of different 8 parts. As we have studied in male reproductive system also there are 8 to 9 different parts. So here the external genitalia means they are present on the external surface of the body. So these external genitalia are showing these 8 parts. First is labia majora, second labia minora, third mons pubis, fourth clitoris, fifth vestibule, sixth hymen and seventh here is the greater vestibular glands and last part here is the breast and or mammary glands. So these are the different 8 parts which are present on the external body surface and these are related to the reproductive system and therefore these parts are called as the external genitalia of the female reproductive system. So here first labia majora, second labia minora, third mons pubis, fourth clitoris, fifth vestibule, then hymen, greater vestibular glands and breast. So out of these here first 4 parts means labia majora, minora, mons pubis and clitoris, all these 4 parts togetherly known as, here common term is called as a vulva. These first 4 parts, labia majora, labia minora, mons pubis and clitoris, these 4 parts are collectively known as vulva. So you have to remember that vulva consists of 4 parts of this external genitalia, labia majora, labia minora, mons pubis and clitoris. So these are the 4 different 8 parts which are present as a external genitalia in female reproductive system. Then we have to study the internal genitalia, means the parts which are present inside the body parts of the female and these are related to the reproductive system. So these are pair of ovaries, first part, second pair of fallopian tubes which are also called as oviducts, which are also called as uterine ducts, third uterus and fourth vagina. So these are the different parts related to the female reproductive system. Some parts are present over the external surface of the body, those body parts or those reproductive parts are called as external genitalia and some body parts related to reproductive system are present inside the body and these body parts are called as internal genitalia. Now first of all we have to study here external genitalia. So here we have to study the external genitalia. So these are the different parts related to this external genitalia. We have to study only one line information about this because it is not very much important for the exam and we have to study this part. Here first is the labia majora. Labia majora which is homologous to the scrotum of males. As we have studied the scrotum that is present in males, that is showing testes which are situated in the scrotum region. Just like scrotum in female body also there is a body part related to this reproductive system in the external genitalia and these parts are called as a labia majora which are homologous to the scrotum of males. Then inner to labia majora, second external genitalia, labia minora is there and this labia minora is smaller and thinner lip-like folds. This labia minora is smaller and these are lip-like folds, जसे आपले ओठ असतात तसे स्ट्रक्चर आपल्याला इथे बघायला मिळतात. दे आर प्रेझेंट इनर टू दी लॅबिया मेजोरा अँड देअरफॉर दे आर कॉल्ड ॲज अ लॅबिया मायनोरा. देन थर्ड, मॉन्स प्युबिस. दिस रिजन इज शोईंग फ्लेशी एलिव्हेशन अबाव दी लॅबिया मेजोरा. लॅबिया मेजोराच्या वरती फ्लेशी एलिव्हेशन म्हणजे असा एक उंचवट्यासारखा भाग असतो अँड दॅट इज फ्लेशी स्ट्रक्चर अँड देअरफॉर इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ फ्लेशी एलिव्हेशन which is present above the labia majora and that elevation it is called as a mons pubis. Then clitoris. Clitoris is homologous to penis of males. As we have studied in male reproductive system, penis is showing urinogenital tract. That urinogenital tract is passing through a structure called as a penis, which is also called as a copulatory organ, which is used for insemination. And just like penis, in female body also there is a structure that is called as a clitoris, which is homologous to penis of male. Only you have to remember the structure which is homologous to penis, that is called as a clitoris. Now next is a vestibule. Vestibule, it is a depression enclosing urethral and vaginal opening. There is a depression. Depression म्हणजे आपण खाच म्हणतो. In this external genitalia, the vestibule, it is a depression like structure which is showing two openings. First opening is urethral opening through which urine is excreted outside the body, and second is vaginal opening. Through that vaginal opening, during menstrual cycle bleeding occurs. Means during menstrual cycle bleeding occurs in female's body and that bleeding is coming outside the body through an opening. That opening is called as a vaginal opening. जे मेन्स्ट्रुअल सायकलच्या वेळेला जे ब्लिडिंग होत असतं आणि जे फ्लड बाहेर येत असतं ते ज्या ओपनिंगमधनं बाहेर येतं त्या ओपनिंगला इथं व्हजायनल ओपनिंग म्हटलं जातं आणि युरिथ्रल ओपनिंग म्हणजे ज्याच्यामधून युरिन बाहेर येतं. असे दोन आपल्याला तिथं ओपनिंग्स बघायला मिळतात आणि ते ओपनिंग ज्या खाचेमध्ये असतात त्या रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमच्या एक्सटर्नल जेनिटेलिया पार्टमध्ये, दॅट डिप्रेशन त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं, वेस्टिब्यूल म्हटलं जातं. सो दीज आर द फर्स्ट 5 पार्ट्स: लॅबिया मेजोरा, labia minora, mons pubis, clitoris and vestibule. Out of these first 4 parts, labia majora, labia minora, vestibule, mons pubis and clitoris, these are included and they are commonly called as a vulva. That only you have to remember. And vestibule is a depression having 2 openings, vaginal opening and urethral opening. Okay, now we have to study next point here. Very important point for the NEET exam, hymen. Hymen means it is a mucous membrane layer covering the opening of vagina. आत्ताच आपण व्हजायनाचं स्ट्रक्चर बघितलेलं आहे. व्हजायना म्हणजे ज्याच्यामधून मेन्स्ट्रुअल सायकलच्या वेळेला ब्लिडिंग होत असतं ते जे ओपनिंग असतं त्याला व्हजायनल ओपनिंग म्हटलं जातं. अँड ऑन दॅट व्हजायनल ओपनिंग अ म्युकस मेम्ब्रेन लेअर इज प्रेझेंट अँड दॅट म्युकस मेम्ब्रेन लेअर इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ हायमेन. एक पातळ पापुद्र्यासारखं एक लेअर आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो, पडदा आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो आणि त्या पडद्याला काय म्हटलं जातं, हायमेन म्हटलं जातं. दिस हायमेन इज हॅव्हिंग अ पर्टिक्युलर स्ट्रक्चर. दॅट इज दिस हायमेन इज ऑफन टॉर्न ड्युरिंग फर्स्ट इंटरकोर्स ऑर कॉइटस. मीन्स व्हेन female is having first sexual intercourse, during that time this hymen may get torn. म्हणजे ज्या वेळेला फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स होतो त्यावेळेला तो हायमेन ब्रेक होऊ शकतो. जनरली इट कॅन बी ब्रोकन ड्युरिंग दिस फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स, बट समटाइम्स हियर इट कॅन बी ब्रोकन बाय सडन फॉल ऑर ॲक्टिव्ह पार्टिसिपेशन इन हॉर्स रायडिंग अँड सायकलिंग. बट इन सम फिमेल्स विच आर actively participating in cycling and horse riding like activities, or they are having sudden fall म्हणजे अचानकपणे ती फिमेल जोरात कुठं ॲक्सिडेंटल केसमध्ये पडली, काय झालं किंवा हॉर्स रायडिंग किंवा सायकलिंग करत असेल तर त्यावेळेला सुद्धा हा हायमेन काय होऊ शकतो, ब्रेक होऊ शकतो. दॅट मीन्स इट इज नॉट यट दॅट इट शुड बी ब्रोकन ड्युरिंग फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स. म्हणजे हायमेन हा फक्त फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्सच्या वेळेलाच ब्रेक होतो असं नाही. इन सम फिमेल्स बिफोर हॅव्हिंग सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स द हायमेन मे ब्रेक ड्यू टू ॲक्टिव्ह पार्टिसिपेशन इन हॉर्स रायडिंग ऑर सायकलिंग ऑर दे मे गेट सडन फॉल. ह्या 2 कंडिशनमध्ये फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्सच्या अगोदरसुद्धा हा हायमेन काय होऊ शकतो, ब्रेक होऊ शकतो. that you have to remember. So here in some women the hymen persist even after coitus. त्या उलट अजून एक कंडिशन आपण बघितली तर दिस हायमेन मे रिमेन पर्सिस्ट आफ्टर सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स. म्हणजे काही फिमेल्समध्ये सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स झाल्यानंतर सुद्धा हा हायमेन आहे तसाच राहू शकतो. बघा दोन कंडिशन आपण इथं बघतोय. एक म्हणजे सुरुवातीला आपण बघितली की इफ द विमेन इज हॅव्हिंग सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स, फर्स्ट सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स, at that time the hymen may break, but in some females which are having active participation in horse riding and cycling, or they may get sudden fall, during that time also the hymen may get broken, or in some females even after having sexual intercourse the hymen remains as it is. म्हणजे दोन कंडिशन्स आहेत की काही वेळेला सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स होण्याच्या अगोदर सुद्धा ते ब्रेक होऊ शकतं काही ॲक्टिव्ह पार्टिसिपेशन हॉर्स रायडिंग किंवा सायकलिंगमुळे, आणि काही फिमेल्समध्ये आफ्टर सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्ससुद्धा ते ॲज इट इज राहू शकतं. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज इट रिमेन्स पर्सिस्ट, आहे तसंच राहतं. आणि म्हणून इथं काय म्हणलेलं आहे बघा, हेन्स द प्रेझेन्स ऑर ॲब्सेन्स ऑफ हायमेन इज नॉट ए रिलायबल इंडिकेटर ऑफ व्हर्जिनिटी ऑर सेक्शुअल एक्सपिरियन्स. आणि म्हणून हायमेन इज नॉट हॅव्हिंग एनी रिलायबल इंडिकेटर that women or that female is having sexual intercourse or not. म्हणजे त्या हायमेन असण्यावरनं किंवा नसण्यावरनं आपण इथं त्या फिमेलनं सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स केलेला आहे किंवा नाही, किंवा ती व्हर्जिन आहे किंवा नाही हे ठरवू शकत नाही. व्हर्जिन म्हणजे काय, कुमारिका असं म्हणूया आपण, की ते कुमारी आहे की ज्यांनी सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स केलेला नाही असा अर्थ आपण इथे घ्यायचा आहे व्हर्जिन म्हणजे. सो हिअर presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. म्हणजे हायमेन नाही म्हणजे त्या फिमेलनं सेक्शुअल एक्सपिरियन्स घेतलेला आहे असा अर्थ होत नाही, आणि हायमेन तुटलेला आहे म्हणजे त्यांनी सेक्शुअल एक्सपिरियन्स केलेला आहे असा अर्थ होत नाही. याचा अर्थ हायमेन कॅन बी ब्रोकन ड्यू टू दिस ॲक्टिव्ह पार्टिसिपेशन इन हॉर्स रायडिंग ऑर सायकलिंग, अँड इव्हन इफ दे आर हॅव्हिंग सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स द हायमेन मे रिमेन्स ॲज इट इज. आणि म्हणून हायमेन इज नॉट ए रिलायबल इंडिकेटर फॉर दी व्हर्जिनिटी ऑर सेक्शुअल एक्सपिरियन्स. त्यामुळे हायमेन असण्यावरनं किंवा नसण्यावरनं त्या फिमेलचं आपण ती व्हर्जिन आहे किंवा सेक्शुअली इंटरकोर्स केलेला आहे किंवा नाही हे आपण ठरवू शकत नाही. देअरफॉर दिस इज इम्पॉर्टंट पॉईंट. प्रेझेन्स ऑर ॲब्सेन्स ऑफ हायमेन इज नॉट ए रिलायबल इंडिकेटर of virginity or having sexual intercourse. That you have to remember. This particular point is related to NEET exam, that you have to understand. Okay, now next point here is the greater vestibular glands. You have studied in male reproductive system there are seminal vesicles, prostate gland, Cowper's gland, and all these glands are secreting some fluid. Just like that in female body also, here the glands are present which are called as a greater vestibular glands which are homologous to the Cowper's glands of the males. मेलमध्ये जी Cowper gland आहे त्याच्यासारखं सिक्रेशन करणारे ह्या ग्लँड्स आहेत greater vestibular gland which are secreting lubricating fluid. These greater vestibular glands are secreting lubricating fluid. Lubrication is much important during the sexual intercourse for easy insemination, and therefore for lubrication some fluid is secreted in female reproductive system, and that lubricating fluid is secreted by these glands, greater vestibular glands, that you have to remember. Now the last part of this external genitalia is the breasts or mammary glands. The female reproductive system is having this very much important structure or this very much important part, because due to the development of mammary gland the newly born baby is getting nourished by the milk secreted by these mammary glands. So what is the different parts of this mammary gland and what are the structures and how the milk is secreted, that is to be studied in this point. So here breast or mammary gland, these are rounded structures in the pectoral region on the ventral thoracic wall. So these mammary glands are present in both male and female, but in males no development of mammary gland, and in females there is development of mammary glands. So in mammals this special characteristic feature is developed, that is they are showing development of mammary glands, and these mammary glands are present on the ventral thoracic wall. In the pectoral region, two rounded structures are present, and these mammary glands are modified sweat glands. आपल्या बॉडीवरती स्वेट ग्लँड्स असतात, त्याचंच मॉडिफिकेशन इथं दोन मॅमरी ग्लँडमध्ये आपल्याला झालेलं बघायला मिळतं. सो हिअर these are the pair of modified sweat glands, and it contains glands which are secreting milk, and therefore these glands are called as the lactiferous glands. In mammary glands, milk is secreted, and milk contains lactose sugar, and therefore the milk secreting glands which are present in mammary glands are called as lactiferous glands. So here this mammary gland is consisting of lactiferous glands. When the female baby is birth taking place and male baby's birth taking place, both are showing same type of mammary gland, but at the puberty age there is development of mammary gland in female. मेल आणि फिमेल दोघांच्याही मध्ये मॅमरी ग्लँड्स आपल्याला बघायला मिळतात, पण मेलमध्ये मॅमरी ग्लँडची वाढ होत नाही. बट इन फिमेल द डेव्हलपमेंट अँड ग्रोथ ऑफ मॅमरी ग्लँड टेक्स प्लेस ॲट द प्युबर्टी एज. वयात येत असताना मुलींच्या मध्ये आपल्याला डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ मॅमरी ग्लँड झालेलं बघायला मिळतं. इट इज द सेकंडरी सेक्शुअल कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स प्रेझेंट इन द फिमेल बॉडी, अँड दिस कॅन बी डन विथ द हेल्प ऑफ here influence of two sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So here development of the mammary gland occurs at the puberty under the influence of estrogen and progesterone. That you have to remember. Estrogen and progesterone, these two hormones are secreted in our body, in female body, and then there is development of mammary glands takes place in that particular body at the puberty age. Puberty age मध्ये आल्यानंतर आपल्याला ती डेव्हलपमेंट झालेली बघायला मिळते. Then the luteotropic hormone LTH or prolactin helps in development of lactiferous tubules during pregnancy. Means during pregnancy there are development of lactiferous ducts which are secreting milk. So at the time of pregnancy there is development of these lactiferous tubules in the mammary gland, and it is under the influence of one hormone, that is LTH, luteotropic hormone or prolactin. So for the development of mammary gland, the hormones responsible are estrogen and progesterone, and during pregnancy period when lactiferous tubules are developed in mammary gland, this is under the influence of prolactin or LTH hormone, that is luteotropic hormone. Means there are two hormones responsible for the development of mammary gland and for the development of lactiferous ducts in the mammary gland. So here again another hormone is there. Release of milk from the breast is under the control of prolactin and oxytocin. Means milk is formed in mammary gland, that milk is excreted out, or that milk is taken outside the mammary gland, and this release of milk from the mammary gland, it is taking place under the influence of again two hormones, prolactin and oxytocin. Means here three hormones are responsible during the development of the breast and for the formation of milk and release of milk. So firstly, for the development of mammary gland, the hormone responsible are estrogen and progesterone. During pregnancy, lactiferous tubules are formed under the influence of prolactin or LTH, and after the formation of milk and after the parturition or after the delivery, milk is released from the mammary gland under the influence of oxytocin. So there are different three hormones which are related to this breast or mammary gland that we have to remember. Now what are the different structures present in this mammary gland that we have to study? So here each mammary gland is made up of glandular tissue and fatty tissue. Each mammary gland is consisting of two types of tissue, glandular tissue and fatty tissue. Out of that, the glandular tissue is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing alveolar glands and lactiferous ducts. Means in glandular tissue there are about 15 to 20 different mammary lobes are present, and these mammary lobes are developed from here alveolar glands and lactiferous duct. The function of lactiferous duct is to secrete milk and the function of alveolar gland is to store the milk. म्हणजे काय केलं जातं, लॅक्टिफेरस डक्टमधून मिल्क सिक्रेट केलं जातं आणि सिक्रेट केलेलं जे मिल्क आहे ते स्टोअर करून ठेवण्यासाठी अल्व्हेओलार डक्ट्स इथं किंवा अल्व्हेओलार ग्लँड्स असतात. अल्व्हेओलार म्हणजे एअर सॅक, आपण रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टीममध्ये बघितलेलं आहे. एअर सॅक अल्व्हेओलाय ऑफ द लंग असतात, त्याच्यामध्ये एअर असते आणि इथं जे अल्व्हेओलाय आहे त्याच्यामध्ये काय स्टोअर केलं जातं, मिल्क स्टोअर केलं जातं. So here these mammary lobes are consisting of alveolar gland and lactiferous ducts. Then the cells of alveoli secrete milk which is stored in the cavities of the alveoli. So here the milk secreted by lactiferous ducts is stored into the cells of alveoli and then these alveoli open into mammary duct. Number of alveoli are present in this mammary gland and from that the milk is transferred into the mammary duct. This mammary duct, there are number of mammary ducts present which are joined to form a wider mammary ampulla. Many of the mammary ducts are combining together, joined together and they are forming here mammary ampulla which is connected to the lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. This last part here is the lactiferous duct through which milk is released outside the mammary gland and it is sucked by the baby. And these are the different structures related to the breast. Here the glandular tissue and fatty tissue consist the mammary gland. Out of that glandular tissue is made up of 15 to 20 mammary lobes consisting of alveolar gland and lactiferous duct. The lactiferous ducts are secreting milk which are stored into the alveoli. From alveoli the milk is collected into the mammary duct. From mammary duct the milk is collected into the mammary ampulla and from mammary ampulla the milk is released into the lactiferous duct and from lactiferous duct that milk is released outside the mammary gland or it is sucked by the baby. So these are the different structures in diagram. We can see here this is the structure of mammary gland. It is having, this is the pectoral region, this is the major muscle. There are different ligaments for the protection or for the giving the turgidness to the mammary gland. And here we can observe these are the yellow colored structures are the fatty tissue which is present in this mammary gland. This is the fatty tissue and these pink colored structures are called as a glandular tissue and in that glandular tissue we have seen here glandular lobes. This is first lobe, second lobe, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. The number of lobes are present in this mammary gland and in that there is lactiferous ducts are present, lactiferous tubules are present, alveolar cells are present which are so secreting milk and storing the milk and all these milk secreted by these glandular lobes are coming towards the nipple region, we can call it as, and here is the lactiferous ducts at the nipple region through which milk is released outside the mammary gland or it is sucked by the baby. So this is the structure of mammary glands. We have to remember only it is consisting of fatty tissue and glandular tissue. Glandular tissue, it is having number of mammary lobes. Mammary lobes are consisting of alveolar cells and lactiferous tubules. Lactiferous tubules secreting milk which are stored into the alveoli. From alveoli it is conducted into mammary duct, from mammary duct to mammary ampulla and from mammary ampulla to lactiferous ducts. So this is the sequence of milk secreted in our mammary gland. So here the glandular tissue, from glandular tissue mammary lobes, from mammary lobes to alveoli, from alveoli to mammary ducts, mammary duct to mammary ampulla and from mammary ampulla to lactiferous ducts. So this pathway of the milk secretion and release of milk from one part to other part of the mammary gland, it is important for the NEET exam. So here we are drawing here diagrammatic representation of the pathway of the milk which is secreted in the mammary gland. So these are the first 8 different parts related to the external genitalia which are present in the female reproductive system in the human. First part labia majora, second part labia minora, third mons pubis, fourth clitoris, fifth vestibule, sixth hymen, seventh greater vestibular gland, and last part 8 is the breast. So these are the different external genitalia that we have studied in this lecture. Now the next part here is the internal genitalia. So here there are different internal genitalia which are present in this female reproductive system. First there is a pair of ovaries present, then fallopian tubes or oviducts, or which are called as a uterine tubules, third uterus, and fourth vagina. So these are the different four parts related to this internal genitalia. Out of that first part there is a ovaries. We have to study the diagrammatic representation of this female reproductive system. So here pair of ovaries, you can see here, this is one ovary and this is second ovary. One is left ovary and other is right ovary. So these are the pair of ovaries, and from ovaries a tube-like structure is arising, and that tube-like structure is called as a fallopian tube, oviduct or uterine tube. So you can see here, this is the ovary, and from ovary the tube-like structure is arising up to this region. From here also this is the tube-like structure arising, and this structure is called as a fallopian tube. From ovary a tube-like structure is arising, that structure is called as a fallopian tube. So these are the two pairs of these tubes which are called as a fallopian tube or oviducts. Then third part here is the uterus. So this is the uterus, ज्याला आपण गर्भाशय म्हणतो, हे uterus आहे, आणि uterus नंतर fourth part जो आहे तो इथं vagina, तुम्हाला इथे खाली बघायला मिळेल. So these are the four main parts related to the internal genitalia of the female reproductive system: pair of ovaries, pair of fallopian tubes or oviducts, and here the fallopian tube and uterus gets joined with each other. That region is called as the isthmus. Third part is uterus and fourth part is vagina. So these are the different parts related to the internal genitalia of the female reproductive system. Now we have to study the first part, ovaries. Here another diagram is there. This is the ovary, this is the ovary, this is the fallopian tube, this central part is uterus, and last part is the vagina. So first part here, ovaries. These ovaries are called as a primary female sex organs or primary female gonads, and these ovaries are responsible for two functions. The first function of ovary is the production of ovum or eggs or female gamete, and second function of this ovary is secretion of different female sex hormones. So primarily it is a sex gonad, but it is also acting as an endocrine glandular part of this endocrine system because it is secreting different sex hormones. So here ovaries produce egg and ovum and female sex hormones. These ovaries are solid, oval or almond shaped. Mostly these are almond shaped. Almond shape म्हणजे बदामाचा जसा आकार असतो तशा बदामाच्या आकाराचा हा आपल्याला बघायला मिळतात. These organs are having 3.0 centimeter length, 1.5 centimeter breadth and 1 centimeter thick. त्याची लांबी जर आपण बघितली तर 3 सेंटीमीटर आहे, त्याची रुंदी बघितली तर 1.5 सेंटीमीटर आहे, आणि जाडी आहे ती 1 सेंटीमीटर आहे. सो ऑल व्हेरी स्मॉल organs are present as ovaries. It is located in the upper lateral part of the pelvis near the kidneys. त्याचं लोकेशन बघितलं तर pelvis region मध्ये near the kidneys the pair of ovaries are located. pelvis region म्हणजे जिथं आपले pelvic girdle असतात त्याच्या ठिकाणी किडनीच्या जवळ याचं लोकेशन आपल्याला बघायला मिळेल. Now these ovaries are attached by different ligaments. So here each ovary is held in position by ligaments and by attaching it to the uterus and the abdominal wall. These ovaries are attached to the abdominal wall of the female body with the help of ligaments, and also they are attached to the uterus. गर्भाशयाला सुद्धा ते अटॅच झालेले असतात. Both these attachments are made up of ligaments. Ligament is the connective tissue type. So with the help of ligaments the ovaries are attached to uterine wall and also abdominal wall. In that the ovarian ligaments attaches ovary to the uterus. युटेरसला जोडणारी जी लिगामेंट्स आहेत त्याला ओव्हेरियन लिगामेंट्स असं म्हटलं जातं. अँड द ओव्हरी प्रोड्युसेस 5 hormones, that is estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, activin and inhibin. So these are the different 5 hormones which are secreted by the ovary, that is estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, activin and inhibin. So these are the different 5 hormones which are secreted by the ovary. Now we have to study the structure and development of ovary, but it is very long part. So in today's lecture just we have stopped here. Firstly we have seen the external genitalia, and second we have started internal genitalia. Out of that primary introduction we have seen in this lecture. The details of internal genitalia that we have studied in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.